Good morning. Hello, it's me again. I'm back. Oh, I'm tired. I've been up since 1 o'clock. I wake up. No, actually, I've been up since 12 o'clock. I wake up at 12 and just couldn't sleep, so I got up. So just that's the good thing about Facebook world. Hello, somebody's there. The great thing about Facebook and having international friends is that it's always a reason why we're at some place in the world. So it suits me and my insomnia. So anyway, right, we're live and Facebook is building an audience. Good job, Facebook. Keep going. We're telling your friends to join your video. Come on, friends, where are you? I'm actually haven't got any makeup on. Hi, Michelle. So I'm going to do my makeup. So I'm using my Yves Saint Laurent 24 karat gold darling primer. Hi, Cheryl. Hi. Just going to slap this on. Good morning. How are we all this morning? What's been going on? I'm good. I had a good sleep. I had about 4 hours sleep. So anyway, I woke up and just got up. So my brain's not I'm not on top form, but I'll do my best. So I'm using my Acti 3D corrector, and I'll just give it a minute just in case anyone wants to join. If not, we'll just get cracking. So basically, I'm not a psychiatrist, obviously. I wish I was. I think if I had my time again, although that's a very bad attitude actually, it's not about having your time again, it's never too late. Maybe I'll go back and study and become a psychiatrist or something, because I'm fascinated in how the brain works. But I'll tell you something I'm really fascinated in is addiction, because obviously you all know I've got bipolar, that's no secret. But I also I have a very addictive personality. Hi, Becky. So I get addicted to things: drink, drugs, sex. It's all good. Food is another big addiction. So the science of addiction really fascinates me. Anyway, I recently stumbled across a term. I've actually made some notes. You have to excuse me because I'm not an expert. I've never spoken about this stuff before. I'm actually a bit nervous, so bear with me. I'll do my best to share with you what I've learned. But basically, there is a technique called intermittent reinforcement. Now, about a week ago, I'd never heard of it, but I've actually become obsessed with it, because it's just so freaking amazing. Basically, to try and explain this to you, sorry, I'm out of breath. Okay, so if we think about rats in a lab, so you're a rat in a cage, and you press a lever, and a pellet of food comes down through the chute, and obviously you're going to keep doing it because you want the food. So you keep pushing the lever. Now, if the scientist stops releasing the food, hello, I'm just talking about intermittent reinforcement, and I'm just taking us all back to lab rats in rats in a laboratory. Basically, so if the rat presses the lever and they get the pellet of food, they're going to keep pressing it. And then if scientists decide to mix things up a bit and they stop releasing the food, then the rat will press, and then there's no food, and basically the rat then gets bored and won't bother pressing the lever anymore. Now, what's happening there is that there is consistency in terms of the pattern. So you push and it comes out. That's basically known as continuous reinforcement. Now, if you want to mix things up a bit, you create inconsistency. So occasional, random and unpredictable pellets of food being dispersed. What happens? Well, you'd think that the rat would lose interest because, you know, it presses the lever and food comes, and then it presses the lever and food doesn't come, and then, you know, it does. You know, you think it would get bored, but actually what happens is the opposite. I know, I get so excited by this stuff. Basically, the rat becomes completely obsessed. It becomes addicted. Yeah, basically, if you stop the pellets randomly, yeah, the rat, he's obsessed, he's addicted, he neglects his own grooming habits because he is so obsessed with, you know, whether or not he's going to get this pellet of food. The rat's health actually deteriorates as a direct result. I know it's cruel, the poor rats, hiya! So basically the random unpredictable reward is intermittent reinforcement, which is what I'm talking about. So intermittent reinforcement creates addiction. It's basically how gambling works. So gambling works on sort of the premise of intermittent reinforcement because you cannot predict the pattern at which the reward will come. So, you know, you can try and you can be at those slot machines and think, oh, you know, I have this and that, but really you can't. And that's what makes it exciting, addictive, obsessive. Desperation, starvation, and then the relief comes when you finally get that reward. You know, you hit the jackpot, or even if you just get a few measly pounds, it doesn't matter because you are hooked. It is an addiction. Intermittent reinforcement creates obsession. You become owned by the other person. Love, attention, affection, these are all the pellets of food for the poor little rat. Despair and starvation. I was a rat in a cage. I know, I had to bring it back to myself. Yeah, I was basically caught in a cycle of torment. I know, it sounds so dramatic, doesn't it? But, hi Liz. He gave me just enough, you know, just enough pellets of food that I wasn't quite starving to death. But, you know, it was crazy. It was obsessive. You know, you're at their mercy, really, when people use these techniques on you. You're desperate for the intermittent reinforcement, you know, the misery and pain and starvation of not getting the pellet. It's all gone when you get one measly crumb, you know. Did he do it intentionally? I don't know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but he had some gambling problems in his youth. So he's no stranger to gambling. He understands it. He's intelligent. He also knows that I've got an addictive personality. So really, I'm the type of person, you know, I'm like the perfect candidate, really, to be, I'm like the perfect lab rat, you know? Anyway, so narcissistic people use intermittent reinforcement techniques to control another person, and usually a codependent person, and I'm a codependent person. It's emotional abuse. You're basically starved to death. You're hooked. You're hooked on the rush from those pellets when the food finally comes, those crumbs. You know, even if they stop the pellets altogether, even if there's no food, you know, you're still hooked. Intermittent reinforcement is the most powerful mode of control. And if you are in a relationship where your partner is using this technique, you're not actually in a relationship, you're in an addiction. It's not a relationship, it's not love. You think you're in love, but really you're not. You're, you know, you're being manipulated, really. It's really difficult because your body gets addicted to the chemicals, and you know, these are the chemicals that your body's creating itself. So you know, you have like physical withdrawal from being apart from this person. You know, nobody really understood what I was going through. I wish I'd found this intermittent stuff you know, 3 months ago, because then I could have played it to my family and friends and then they might understand, because they all thought I was just being ridiculous. You know, it's just a relationship, you'll be okay. If you're in a narcissistic, codependent, intermittent reinforcement relationship, which I believe I was, you experience the same physical withdrawal as someone coming off a street drug. You know, you really do. You know, I was sort of deteriorating, really. Just, you know, anything to get that reinforcement. And, you know, towards the end, it just wasn't coming, you know, there was no reinforcement at all. So, oh God, basically you change everything about yourself. You completely lose yourself. And, you know, when me and my ex broke up, I was a shell of a person. Like, I was completely broken. I just literally didn't want to live anymore. Like, I couldn't even breathe. And, you know, like, people think that that's really dramatic, but it's not. That's actually what I felt. But you know what? It's been 3 months and I'm actually doing really well and I'm actually feeling great. And, you know, if you're broken, you don't stay broken, or you can if you want, but if you want to get better, you can get better. You know, that's the amazing thing about being a human being, is that, you know, we can get better. So, you know, I just like to say to you that there is hope. Yes, it's been 3 months and I'm doing really good. You know, I probably up to about a week ago would have still, if he had called me, you know, I would have been there in a flash. But I wouldn't go back to him now. You know, I'm really grateful to him because I've learned so much. And hi Kelly, you've missed me talking about rats. Anyway, look, I hope that that's been useful for somebody. It was useful for me. As I say, I'm not an expert in this field. I only learned about this about a week ago. So apologies if you know, if I didn't do a great job of explaining it, but it's something I'm really interested in, so I'm probably gonna, you know, look into it a bit more because it's fascinating. Yeah, so that's it really. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to talk to you about addiction. I just wanted to say, you know, you can recover from it because, you know, the last 3 months have been the worst of my life, and, you know, I've had some really grim times, but I've come through it, I've survived it, and I'm stronger for it, and I've learned so much from it. If I could turn the clock back, because I actually met him on the 10th of December last year. Knowing what I know and what was going to happen, if I could go back in time a year, we actually met on Tinder. I'd actually swipe right. I'd meet him and I'd do it all over again because, you know, I've had really amazing personal growth. Anyway, I don't want to talk about me anymore. That's enough about me. What do you think of me? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And just quickly, before I leave you in peace to have a good Tuesday, I just wanted to tell you about this amazing offer. So you probably all know that my mum makes jewellery, and she makes these gorgeous lucky bracelets, and they come with a range of gemstones and 2 initials. You can have more, but standard is 2. So that the good luck knows where to go. And they're usually £14.50 or £19.50, but up until tomorrow at 8 o'clock they're just £10 plus postage. Oh my god! So get in there quick. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you want to chat to me about intermittent reinforcement, I'm actually obsessed with it, but ironically that's become my next obsession. But anyway, I'd love to chat, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great week. All right, love you, bye!